Hello families, my name is Christine Wilbur. I am a teacher at Disney 2 Magnet High School. I teach seniors and freshmen. I am also a Pilot Light Fellow, and I am going to share with you today a very easy and wonderful and delicious recipe from Marcella Hazan. It is her 3-ingredient pasta sauce. Some of you may know who she is. She's a wonderful cook and cookbook author. And she's quite famous for this 3-ingredient sauce. It's a wonderful recipe to make with little kids. It's a wonderful recipe for big kids. It's just a wonderful recipe. So thanks for tuning in. I'm going to show you how it's done. Why did I decide this was a great idea?
If you don't put this in the video, I'm going to be mad.
What, the hand washing? Oh, that's amazing, of course. Okay, so the first step in making tomato sauce is to get the tomatoes going. And joining me is my son, Charles, who's 18 years old and leaving for college shortly. So this is a great recipe for him to take with him to his dorm. Hi, Charlie.
Hello.
Hi. So we are gonna do something pretty simple, and that is open this can of tomatoes. I think you can do it. We're gonna measure 2 cups of the tomatoes into this measuring cup, right? And then this is where the recipe gets really fun for small kids or maybe even big kids. Once we get 2 cups of tomatoes in here, we're gonna put them in here and squish them with our hands so that the tomato sauce has a good texture. Think we can do it? Yeah.
Now you're squishing.
That's it, right? So if you're making this recipe in the middle of summer when fresh tomatoes are wonderful, you can also do this very same thing with fresh tomatoes. You just chop them in half first, put them in a bowl, and let your child squeeze them until they're a little bit chunky, but a little bit pureed too. So as I said in the beginning, this is a 3-ingredient tomato sauce. We have the tomatoes smushed up in a bowl, and now we are going to put in the second ingredient, which is an onion. Charlie is taking off the ends of the onion. And what makes this recipe even easier is that the onion is simply quartered. So Charlie has been kind enough to squish some tomatoes and chop some onions, and now my oldest daughter Evelyn is going to bring the whole recipe together. So Evelyn, thanks for joining us. What we're going to do is, in this pot, we're gonna put all the onion pieces, an entire stick of butter, and then the 2 cups of tomatoes. And then we're gonna put it on the stove. So now that Charles and Evelyn have our sauce together, my youngest daughter, Anne, is going to oversee it as it simmers on the stove for 45 minutes. So you'll remember that in this pot we have our crushed tomatoes, an entire stick of butter, and a quartered onion. The onion doesn't need to have anything happen to it other than the quarters. To this pot, we're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of sugar, and that sugar just softens the acidity of the tomatoes a little bit. And we'll also add a good pinch of salt, just to bring out the flavors. So this is going to cook on medium heat for 45 minutes. That will evaporate a lot of the water. It'll make the tomato flavors really rich. And then your sauce is ready to put on spaghetti or gnocchi or pizza, fish, beans, whatever you like. So thank you so much for joining us. If you liked this recipe, please tag us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at Pilot Light Family Meals. Stay safe, be well, and thank you for joining me.
We want to know how you and your family are enjoying this recipe and making it together. So tag us. Find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Pilot Light Chefs, #PL Family Meal.